The following podcast is set for at least 1 hour. Introducing your hosts, from Fort Worth, Texas, at a total combined weight of 430 pounds, Kevin and Chris Newell. The Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Hey, wrestling fans, how's it going? Good evening. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It is a Tuesday night. It is May the 20th. Coming to you live from Fort Worth, Texas, from our home in Fort Worth, Texas. Giving you the recaps of everything that happened with NXT tonight. And hope you guys had a very good day. I had a very tiring one. Chris, how was your day?
I guess average.
Pretty average? Okay.
Not normal.
About normal. Okay. Well, we're still surviving after the series of storms that had come into our state. As everybody else didn't know.
Juggalo's here.
Juggalo's here saying no. Well, don't worry. We're not going to go off and quote the lines from Creedence Clearwater Revival. You're good. Don't worry. Not up for that tonight. All right.
Although, the funny thing is, I actually could, because we did legit look out to see.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, got a lot to get to. One of them is probably going to end up me being on a soapbox about something. It's a
the news.
Certain something that I heard today. 666, yeah. It's just something I heard today, and it's just from
Hogan and AEW do this time?
No, it wasn't either of those. Don't worry, we'll get to it. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and focus on recapping on everything that happened with NXT. So, Chris, go ahead and give us the rundown on what happened on NXT.
All right, so started off with that triple threat that you were so excited, looking forward to. Javon Evans, Shawn Legacy, and Shantae Adonis.
I was, to a certain extent, yeah, but that match surprised me. It really did.
It I guess wasn't a normal triple threat. But you also had Ricky Saints at commentary.
Yes.
At some point, I'm going to end up accidentally slipping and calling him Starks.
It'll happen.
Yeah. I'm expecting it now. But... I don't know. The more I hear about Hogan, it seems like there's more than just that to hate him for.
Yeah, what's wrong with doing that? What's wrong with hating Hogan over that? I do.
There's plenty to hate him over, and that's just one thing on the list, you know?
That was actually the first thing, and then I find out about all this other stuff about him, and it's like
Logan Paul and Drippy Cheese.
Well, no, no. It's just finding out about all this crap, and then it's like, you know, you had kids look up to you for crying out loud in the 80s and the 90s, and now they've grown up and seen the real you.
So it's like, so that was fake. The whole thing was a lie.
Yeah.
Let's see. Getting back to the recap, you had Ethan Page, picking a fight with Saints at some point, and then you had that match end with Legacy pinning Adonis. Let's see. Then you had like a promo thing backstage where Jasper Troy, I think that was his name, and then the woman that won the LFG thing. They're both going to be joining NXT. Were you ever able to get her name, by the way?
Who?
The woman that joined NXT with Jessica
I
Troy.
could not. No.
Alright. Oh, it's alright. Juggalo said sorry.
Sorry for what? I don't know what he's apologizing for. He did nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with hating Hogan. I'm in the same boat as him.
He's on the same list as Logan.
Pretty much. Where are you at? I'm sorry.
Then there was another promo.
Were you on, did you already go over the second match?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, good.
That's alright. We tend to bounce around anyway as far as subject matter, so.
Oh, no. No, you're good. Trying to figure out why we're not picking up any sound on our thing here.
Why not?
Well, that's what it looked like at first. Nope, we're picking up
Make
sound.
loud
We're good.
noises.
We're good.
Loud noises.
No, we're good.
Alright. Yeah, there's some there. See, then it looks like there's some infighting and fatal influence now.
You're telling me.
In a promo they had where they ended up making a match against Lola Vice that would happen later tonight. One of the two. Then you had the Trick Williams come out and do his rap thing, talking about how he wouldn't back down to an average Joe or something like that. Then you had the Shawn Spears versus Josh Briggs match, calling it ringside. They offered interference and distraction, which Spears took advantage of to be able to pin Josh Briggs. He was also messing with the whole emotional thing with his friend leaving. Then after that match, they would attack him again, and Hank and Tank came out to even the odds. I'm thinking we might end up seeing a 6-man tag or something next week, or potentially even at the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Probably not at the pay-per-view. It's a little late to be making matches for that.
Yeah, because it's this Sunday. Undertaker won that. Well, yes, he won coach of LFG.
Oh. I was like,
because he had the most points.
They give coaches points too?
Yeah.
I haven't seen LFG yet, so I don't know.
You'd probably be able to. We probably watch it now since the whole first season is done and over. You can binge watch the season.
Yeah. At least it's more relevant than WWE Speed.
It is. It's more relevant, but it's like an upgraded version of Tough. It's an upgraded version of Tough Enough.
Yeah.
That's all it really is.
Let's see. Then after that, you had this backstage thing, Thea Hale and Tatum Paxley talking back and forth, something about blaming each other, until Jada Parker came out and attacked Thea Hale. Sorry if I'm not. They really do. It does seem like they have a belt for everything.
No.
At least now that
they do. But then they have belts for WWE Evolve.
Yeah.
Okay. You were saying?
Let's see. Then you had Jada Parker attack Thea Hale. And then they cut to the next thing, which was OTM and Chase U. Match ended with OTM getting pinfall. Chase U kind of lost.
Kind of lost?
Yeah, kind of.
They lost
They
in
lost.
their debut.
I thought their debut was last week.
This is their debut as a tag team for Chase U.
Oh, that's a loss then.
Yeah. OTM, this is their return to the ring.
A return and a debut.
Yeah, and the returns win. See? How it's supposed to be. Unlike last night where you had Roxanne Perez, her official full roster debut, main roster debut, as opposed to Kairi Sane's return, even though it was 2 different matches.
Yeah.
You don't watch NXT but watch Evolve? You should watch NXT. The women's division is pretty good. It's surprisingly good. Not much tag team, but it's a good division.
It seems, come to think of it, the main tag division right now seems to be on SmackDown. Just with the
For
men's.
the women's division?
No, for the men's. I don't see any.
I'm talking about the women's tag division.
I don't see anything going on with the women's division at all.
Well, they're trying, but they got to try harder.
Yeah.
You can't rest it on Bianca Belair and Io Sky and Rhea Ripley's shoulders, for crying out loud.
Nah, they can go until maybe SummerSlam.
No.
Survivor Series,
No.
like they did.
No.
What was it, last year or the year before? They
No.
did that?
Sometimes mommy needs to rest.
Yeah.
She does.
Because they really did just do that, where they went back and forth with this rivalry between Bianca and Flair.
They've been
Io.
honestly, they've been carrying the division. Not Tiffany, not Charlotte, not Natalya, not the veterans,
Nah.
not Liv Morgan. It's been Rhea and Bianca, really, that have been holding the division.
Yeah.
And now you've got Julia that has joined. You got Roxanne
Seemingly
Perez.
mostly Bianca, now that I think about it. Because, again, you had that whole big rivalry.
Rhea Ripley's been holding it too.
Well,
Jade Cargill is the next Cena. We'll see, but right
She
now,
might. But how would she be the next Cena? Unless she introduces a spinner belt.
No.
Spinner belt.
no. What she does need is a singles title win. And if
Which title you think she would go after first?
the main one, I don't see her going after a mid card. She went mid card in AEW. She was
That's
the
right.
TBS champion. She never was the women's champion in AEW, the main women's champion.
Yeah.
I see her getting the WWE championship and going up against, maybe Rhea Ripley, maybe Charlotte Flair. Mainly, I actually see her going after Charlotte Flair more. Personally.
The thing is, that was a rivalry we talked about before she joined WWE.
Yeah,
So it's
because
kinda
at one
cool.
point they had a face-off, and I'm all like, oh, if that is ever a match, please book it. Sorry,
We got
I went
track.
off on a tangent there.
Let's see. Then you had Obafemi and Miles Bourne. They had a promo.
Oh my God, was that a good promo by Miles Bourne?
It was. Both of them, I think, too.
Oba,
'Cause-
Oba's got mic skills, but Miles Bourne surprised me.
Because you had Oba talking about how Miles won't get his Disney ending, how he'll just be added to a list of victims. But then you had Miles fire back with every ruler will fall eventually, and how he's not going to be a victim. And then the whole thing about how they're going to hear the 3 count, and yeah.
Yeah, he says, I may be hard of hearing, but they're going to be the ones that hear the 3 count and hear me declared as the new NXT champion.
Yeah.
And he ended it on that, and I'm all like, that was great. That was a great promo. That got me more invested in this match because it doesn't seem like it's a squash match, and Miles Bourne putting it out there and showing I'm not to be taken advantage of. And I've been against the odds before. This ain't new to me.
Yeah.
And he's looking at Obafemi saying, you underestimate me. That's okay. The doctors...
You underestimate my power.
Pretty much. I mean, taking a line from Star Wars, but he's saying the doctors underestimated me. The nurses underestimated me. And he said, hell, even the coaches here at NXT underestimated me.
Yeah.
But I'm still here. And I was like,
Then
he's got something there.
yeah. Then you had Jasper attacking Oba. Miles coming back to help Oba. Offered a hand to help him up. He got swatted away. So it looks like he's trying to be an actual face here, not just
A heel or anything like that.
Not like
yeah.
back and forth.
He's
on
trying to be
someone's-
respectful.
Unlike Oba. I still think that's cool though. You know?
Yeah. I still like Oba. Oba
Oba definitely.
definitely is pretty good.
I think it's going to be a good match.
I think that's going to be a great match.
Judging by the promos, I think we're going to enjoy that one a lot.
I think so too. You feel a little bit of passion there with Miles Bourne's promos. Obafemi too. You take Obafemi seriously when a guy talks to you like that. It's like, okay.
Will it be enough to get people to boo Oba though?
I don't think there is going to be any booing unless Oba does something dirty, but I hardly doubt it. And Miles may do something dirty. He may be putting this face on as a joke.
Welcome.
Aaron Black, how's it going? That Chris, not this
Hi,
Chris.
Guys.
Doing okay. Battling a headache, but other than that, doing okay. All right, go for it.
Let's see. Then you had another thing. I think it was early on the show. No, I don't know. Either way, note in here about how next week we're going to get Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints title on the line next week.
Okay.
Then you had Tony do like a promo thing.
Tony D'Angelo?
Yeah. Talking about Stacks, calling him a coward because he can't understand the attack or the betrayal. And then he basically ended off with saying that there's going to be no way out for him at Battleground. Or something like that.
That's like, I mean, if anyone who's a true wrestling fan will be remembering the pay-per-view name No Way Out. There's an actual pay-per-view named No Way Out.
You think they're going to end up bringing that one back?
I think they already did. Anyway.
Yeah. Continuing on, we have Lola Vice versus Fallon Henley. This was made after that, backstage argument with Lola Vice and that faction, Fatal Influence. For a second, I got confused with the other group that one of them was in.
And see, and this match was a pretty good match too, showing strength of the women's division in NXT anyway.
Yeah, well, except for the infighting with Fatal Influence.
Still, that makes for a gripping story.
Yeah, kind of wondering if
because where's Jasmine Minx or Ninx or whatever, their third member of Fatal Influence? Where is she at?
Don't know.
Just saying.
Released or injury?
I don't know. She's still on the roster. I would assume injured, sick, unable to compete. I don't know.
Oh, all of the above would be weird and bad. After that, you had Stephanie Vickier getting interviewed.
Go ahead.
Stuff happened. Basically saying that she's ready for the upcoming challenge she's going to end up facing.
Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
That would be another interesting match, too.
So far, next pay-per-view for NXT is looking pretty good, I'd say.
It's pretty stacked, as they say. Okay, so we've got, if we name off the matches real quick, we've got
Vickier and Jordan Grace.
Vickier and Jordan Grace for the women's title. We've got
Obafemi and Miles Bourne
for the NXT men's title. And then we've got
Trick and Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry for the TNA title. And for the Women's North American Championship, we've got Kalani Jordan challenging Sol Ruka, which that will be an athletic match, I feel. A very highly athletic match. Then Tony D'Angelo and Stacks. I think I've already said that one. That one's going to be a pretty good match there. And
meanwhile, I can't remember a single thing they announced for the AEW pay-per-view.
That's okay. Not many people.
Can you remember?
No. We're gonna have to. We'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow because it's supposed to be the go-home show for Dynamite, and then Thursday.
Saturday they'll make sure.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday's going to be the final go-home show for.
I forgot we have
Collision.
We have double duty like twice this week.
Yeah. My head is really going to hurt even more.
Yippee.
Yippee.
You think they're going to have more technical difficulties, or you think it's going to run smooth for AEW? Place your bets now, guys.
Things don't run smooth for AEW.
No.
I mean, they just announced that you can, if you have Max, you could finally watch the full AEW Collision.
There's a difference between rolling smooth and rolling around in barbed wire, you know?
Yeah. Well, it took them 3 days, and you can watch a full episode of Collision. It's like, that's ridiculous.
3 days! Remember from SpongeBob? Let's see. Well, after that, you had the Zarya and Kalani Jordan match,
which that was a good match. If Kalani Jordan won, she would become number one contender, and I think I already spoiled that by saying that Kalani Jordan won, but that was because she forced Zarya to collide with Sol Roca, who was standing on the apron.
Yeah.
So I think that friendship is going to be broken up. This is what I feel.
I think she's going to end up trying to... Wait, what were you going to say?
Sol Roca will retain at Battleground. That's my prediction on that.
And then Zarya will go after it?
Then Zarya will go after the North American title.
I was thinking that too, that at some point they would do that.
I mean, they've been hinting at it since the ladder match. Because it was Sol Roca that knocked Zarya off the ladder to grab the belt.
Yeah. Match ended in pinfall. Then you had Joe Hendry come out and do his thing. The whole concert thing. And then he showed some edited footage of Trick back when he was friends with Mello, I'm guessing before the betrayal. That was kind of funny.
It was funny. It was back when they were running into Dexter Lumis. If you could tell, the Joe Hendry was superimposed on Dexter Lumis's body because I recognized that shirt.
It reminded me of the how we have Tony Khan popping up every now and then.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like,
nope.
Hoping he doesn't
just
pop out of nowhere. But you had Trick interrupt that. A fight started, and they went off there.
Yeah, with Joe Hendry getting the upper hand.
Yeah.
But I found that Joe Hendry concert to be pretty funny.
It was.
What he was saying about Trick Williams was pretty good.
We can't repeat the full thing here because, expletive, but...
Yeah. But he basically called Trick Williams Carmelo's female dog. That's the PGest way to put it. So, we got a lot still going on this week. I mean, that was the go-home show for NXT for Battleground coming up this Sunday. We've got a Saturday night main event happening this Saturday. Then, of course, we've got Double or Nothing this Sunday as well. So we're going to have a lot to cover. Sadly, not that much in the news, though.
Everything in the news. The news is we have no news. Good night, everybody. Get home safe.
No. Don't pull that. I'm trying to see if there's anything that has come out of anything in the news here.
He has news. I was joking.
Actually,
what was that soapbox thing you were talking about?
Oh, no, that's coming after the whole entire news segment because it was something I heard. Here, I'm going to switch that over. But I want to read the news first.
You heard it through the grapevine?
Not that. It was just... so a few things.
You found the news. He did have notes on it.
I got notes. It's right here. Anyway, the streaming service known as Triller, where you can get your pay-per-views of Ring of Honor, AEW, things of that nature. They have confirmed AEW's Double or Nothing will not stream in the U.S., Canada, or Puerto Rico. This is according to Ringside News.
Why?
They just made in a blunt post
We
to
don't like
social
AEW
media,
anymore,
Triller
they said.
TV stated that, quote, catch the biggest pay-per-view of the season with it's not the biggest pay-per-view of the season. AEW's Double or Nothing this Sunday on Triller TV pay-per-view. Available worldwide, excluding U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico.
Why though?
Well, let me see. Because they could have the report on this.
Hopefully it's not another technical difficulties without any real reason sort of thing. Hopefully.
It doesn't give a reason.
This is the sequel to Collision.
They're not really given a reason. So we'll just have to pretty much wait and see what the reasoning is. They really haven't said anything. So if you were going to Triller TV for your pay-per-views for AEW, you're pretty much in trouble not to watch it. But then again, if you're not going there for AEW pay-per-views, you're good.
All the other pay-per-views are fine, but
Yeah.
AEW, them in particular, no more, apparently.
Well,
At least not this time.
this came out from PWI Insider Elite. NXT Europe might finally become a reality this year. According to Triple H, this plan has been happening for quite some time, and now when asked if it is going to be happening, he confirmed by saying it is happening, saying, quote, I'm still a big believer that the UK was going to work. The product was there, the interest level was there, the pandemic squashed it. So
The pandemic ruined a lot, man.
yeah, it ruined it put a real speed bump in a lot of people's plans, but it didn't deter Triple H. So we may have NXT Europe happening real soon. If anyone remembers, they used to have NXT UK, but now they're encompassing Europe, which means you'll get wrestlers not only from England and Ireland and Scotland, but from Spain, from Italy, from France, from Germany.
Maybe we'll-
Germany.
I was over here thinking,
Nothing against Germany now, because,
maybe we'll get more people to team up with Gunther.
who knows?
Mostly
But-
from Germany and
But,
Italy.
it's encompassing all of Europe, which is going to be very interesting to see. I would say new blood in the world of professional wrestling. People we have not been introduced to yet. There is one person that I've been following, and we have been following on social media, a female wrestler by the name of Succubus.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah, we have followed her journey through training, through her wrestling career. She has started, I believe, her own wrestling promotion, Nebula. I could be wrong. Forgive me if I am.
Allegedly, rumors, that sort of thing.
Forgive me if I'm wrong.
Grain or pinch of salt, whichever.
Yeah, but again, forgive me if I am wrong. But she does have a wrestling promotion now. She has traveled to Japan, North Korea. She's been traveling through Europe and wrestling and everything. So I really hope to see her in an NXT Europe ring someday. I really do, because, I mean, like I said, we've been following her journey through training and now through her own little wrestling promotion or wrestling school or what have you.
Yeah.
That's in Nottingham, I believe. Nottingham, England. So you guys do check her out on social media. It's Succubus. And yeah, I just wish her the best and really hope that she gets on there, because it is in that region, Europe, why the hell not? You know, I say go for it. Anyway, so that was pretty much all I got as far as notes on news. But then this came up, and it does deal with Logan Paul. He's claiming hate from WWE fans is forced. So he was on his podcast, Impulsive, because he is.
I would definitely say that statement. Oh, the hate's forced. How do you force hate?
I've got quotes from his show here.
Especially against Logan Paul.
He's saying, quote, Jey Uso, someone who in my opinion is very clearly a copycat. He's a person who is cosplaying a champion, has the World Heavyweight Championship, which is something that I want because I'm in the WWE. Sorry. Just him saying that he is
loosely
made me almost throw up in my mouth.
He's very loosely in the WWE, all things considered.
Among other things. But I'm not going to say it here. Saying, it continues by, and I know he's probably saying this in his character for his gimmick or whatever. I'm one of the biggest draws they have, if not the biggest, and the fact that I do not have a title around on my waist right now is a detriment to the entire company. That sounds like that's coming from him as a character, and that's fine.
I'm going to be honest, I never really cared enough to figure out anything about him as a person. Still don't.
Yeah. Continues. So, yeah, I'm wrestling Jey Uso May 24th in Tampa, Saturday night's main event. And the way I see it, I think Jey is like, look, he's entertaining. He's in the bloodline, right? Got that family of wrestlers. He's like a second or third generation wrestler. But you don't just have that championship aura, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You couldn't even come up with your own catchphrase, so you took mine.
What was the catchphrase?
Yeet.
I don't remember anything.
I think this is just him cutting a promo. Okay, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. He continues, regrettably. You have a great entrance song, right? Like, cool. But you can only live off of the hype of a beat for so long before you have to face the music. And in this case, I'm the music.
What about the entrance music?
I don't know.
I mean...
Hang on, there's more. And when Jay's in the ring with me, he's going to realize, and so is the rest of the WWE Universe, I'm the superior wrestler. And then he continues. I'm going to say it. You know it's true.
Superior wrestler.
Hang on. He continues saying, I'm going to say it. You know it's true. Logan Paul hate is forced in the WWE. Say whatever the F you want about me. That's negative. About my ability to wrestle. About my ability on the mic. Even about my ability to become champion and beat Jey Uso. It's not true. You're lying to yourself. And then he already had declared himself no longer a YouTuber. Thank the Lord above. Therefore, we'll have to wait and see whether he will be able to dethrone Jey Uso and become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So I want to go back on that previous quote of his, okay? Logan Paul hate is forced in the WWE. Say whatever the F you want about me that's negative. About my ability to wrestle. I've got no problem with your ability to wrestle. You're athletic, dude. That's fine. More respect. I just got the notification saying from you posting that we're live on Discord. It's a bit delayed, don't you think? Anyway, the people that are on Twitch got the message, I think. Anyway, back to this.
Still weird.
Because this is where I'm somewhat getting on the soapbox here, because there's another subject and another
even more soapbox.
And oh yeah,
soapy box.
Oh yeah, but I still want to get your feedback on this after I go off on that. Well, first, your thoughts on everything this boy said. And he is a boy.
I just don't care about Logan Paul. Like, frankly, you know how Juggalo used to talk about how, what was it, Motor City Machine Guns and I think there was another, Eddie Thorpe. Those two guys, those guys, in Juggalo would go get pizza or something. With any time Logan
Oh,
Paul,
yeah.
most of the time, whenever Logan Paul shows up,
Stop shaking the desk.
Sorry. That's my cue to, like, go get something to eat or to use the bathroom or, yeah. And a lot of the time it goes into commercials, so,
Yeah.
at least I'm assuming it goes
Okay.
into commercials.
Now, what are your thoughts on him saying, you know, Logan Paul hate is forced in the WWE, say whatever the F you want about me that's negative, my ability of wrestling, my ability to on the mic, even about my ability to become champion.
I don't think it's forced. I just don't want him in WWE.
Yeah, it's not forced. Okay, so this is what I got to say on my little soapbox on this. Gotta keep it PG. On this person. Okay. He's got great wrestling ability. I'll give him that. He's got great ability on the mic to where it's like, okay, you're a heel and your job is to have people hate you, which they already do because of your real life crap.
Which, again,
Let's go through that real life crap
feel
list
like-
real quick,
I feel
shall
like
we?
the real life stuff kind of discredits him as a heel because it's not wrestling heat, you know? A good heel, I feel, would usually not just, you know.
No. You know who's a great heel? MJF.
Yeah, and again, he sticks to that character. It's all wrestling. He
Even
doesn't-
during signings and
again,
conventions.
And again, that's not just great heel work, but great character work. He stays in character. And again, how many MJF controversies are there outside of the ring or outside of the promotion?
That's a good point.
Nobody hates him because of something he did outside of the ring that I can think of.
People still go and get his autographs even though he's talking crap to them. Even while signing, he's talking crap to them, and they're all like, yeah, we know, it's just a gimmick, but still, I love getting talked crap to by MJF. This is awesome.
Yeah.
If that happened to me, I'd be going, you know what, man? Dig into me. I don't care. I'm getting an autograph from you. You're getting my money.
But again, even then, we know it's just a character. And
In real life, the guy is probably a great guy.
And again, like I said, it's not, you don't hate him because he had the moldy cheese or any other number of things. Logan Paul, he just seems to be himself.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be much of a character there at all.
No, because let's go over that list, okay? You know a little bit more of the stuff. The stuff that made me really not like him as a human being or respect him as a human being was the whole thing with Japan. And then the crying show. The crying show, basically, that he put on social media, apologizing for what he did.
The classic YouTuber apology.
It's like, okay, obviously you were not inebriated. You were not drunk. You were not under the influence, but you were mocking a human being who sadly thought this was the only way to end their pain and mock them. That's what ticked me off as a human being because I have seen the results of that in the Army. Okay? That is not a fun thing. And that's not something to mock at. That's why I took that a little bit personally, because it was someone that, granted, I didn't know that well, but I knew of, and they were in my unit. And then I see footage of this little this prick going off and saying something, mocking this human being for taking their own life. That's where I did not respect him anymore. And then he steps into something that I enjoy, and that's professional wrestling. It's enough I have to deal with his brother in the boxing world making that a mockery, both him and his brother. and you know, I know he just wants to shrug off people that are talking crap about him or sending him hate. And he says, "Oh, that's him basically saying, you know, I feed
Well,
off
the thing is-
him saying all this. He's saying I'm feeding off of that hate. Good, continue feeding off of it because you know karma comes around in all shapes and sizes, my man.
Well, I mean, it's not like he can apologize for any of it anymore because
There's other stuff.
Yeah, after the apology with the thing in the woods, he would. The next big thing I remember hearing about was this crypto scam he did. Then after that, he got right into the whole Lunchley drama. I think he was involved with the Lunchley drama. No, wait, that was Mr. Beast and KSI and some third guy.
You know, I just...
Anyway, his friends were involved in that. No, he was involved with that because there was Prime in there.
Yeah, Prime being investigated by the FDA.
That too, and
Brandon B on the YouTube. Yeah,
He will.
God will get him one day.
one of these days. But
But I'm just sorry. Anytime he comes onto the TV, I just really wish, like last night, I really wish Gunther would have booted his head off.
oof.
I seriously did. You know how Gunther treated Jimmy in front of Jay?
Yeah.
A part of me wanted Gunther to hand or zip tie Logan's brother to the damn ropes and then beat the crap out of, or vice versa actually, zip tie Logan to the ropes and forced to watch him beat up his brother.
And another thing, I don't feel like we're gonna get any meaningful storylines out of Logan Paul.
No, because how often is he showing up? But yet he says he's full time. I'm not
just,
seeing it.
Not just that, but every single storyline he's been involved in, it's been the same rinse and repeat thing.
Yeah.
Someone hates him because he doesn't need to be there. The controversies he's been in, and he'll cheat in the match, and then the next storyline will come off of that.
And then he's
about
got
how
that
they don't want him
stupid
cheating.
He's got that stupid friend that always jumps over the barricade with the brass knuckles. It's
Yeah.
happening over and over again. That thank God to Karrion Kross that saw past that BS and
Yeah.
stopped it. And I'm on what Karrion Kross has been saying about Logan Paul. Does not deserve to be there. Because Karrion Kross, the reason why, and he's putting actual, he's not making it a work. He's making it, and I know everyone out there that's a pro wrestler and is possibly watching this or listening to this, I do sorry about throwing out the wrestling terminology because I'm not in professional wrestling, but Karrion Kross, when he delivered that promo on that WrestleMania recap, you felt what he was saying because that's how he truly felt. He didn't hold anything back because Karrion Kross is passionate about what he does. And in that recap, in that video that I saw, I felt it.
And he agrees with us with
It was
the
pure.
With the whole Logan shouldn't be in WWE thing.
Because Karrion Kross has busted his butt to get to where he is. Through the independents, through
And it's
NXT.
what I've been saying from the beginning.
Hang on. Logan Paul and his brother Jake are sorry people and fake YouTube people.
Yeah.
Well, now they got a reality series like the Kardashians on Max.
Yeah, and we're not a big fan of reality television, so... Or reality television. So...
Anyway, I know that I'm going off on a tangent about him, but I don't respect him. I really don't.
If he were to disappear tomorrow, I don't think anyone, aside from maybe one or two family members, would miss him.
No, his girlfriend or baby mama or whatever the heck the woman who signed a legal waiver to actually sleep with him. I know. Sorry.
Cross promo after hours.
Yeah, well, I'm just as a
That's only 10.
still no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just it angers me.
Yeah.
Because of that whole incident in Japan, because of things that I went through
And he clearly hasn't
experienced.
learned from any of it.
No.
In fact, it almost
Well, I
seems
mean,
like he's trying
now
to double
in
down.
now in the public eye, he has kind of toned things down a lot. But it's still that's not forgivable. Something like that is not forgivable. Him doing something and then immediately realizing he did something wrong, like right then and there, like if in that video, if he noticed and saw that, he would be if he was freaking out, not mocking or anything like that to the person that just that's to the deceased, and immediately left and just said, look, we got to cut filming out of respect for the person that has just taken their life here. At that point, I'd be like, I respect him. I would have respected him.
What do you mean, Brandon? He asked what happened. Like, the news thing that got us started on this, or what he did in the woods? Because I think with the thing that got us started on this, it was the whole news article, and then we started
Where
talking.
he's saying it was his hate by the fans was forced.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, he said yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Logan's trying to say that the hate is forced, and I think he said that before, actually. Now
It wasn't. It ain't forced. It's come naturally because no one likes him.
If it was forced, why would it be justified?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it just irritates me so
that,
much.
and I think people hated him before he got in WWE.
Yeah, and that was when the whole Japan thing happened.
Yeah.
And then him and his brother over here doing,
in fact, since he's
doing professional or what they consider professional boxing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, taking on guys that are either retired or no longer boxing or don't even professionally box, and not taking on a ranked professional fighter.
They could.
That's not boxing.
They can't. They're incapable of it.
They are, because they know for a fact they go up against a ranked professional fighter. That's it.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on the whole Jake Paul and the Tyson fight. That thing was rigged. They paid Mike Tyson up front, and then that was it.
I'm starting to come under the opinion that most sports have scripted endings.
Some do, some don't.
With very few exceptions that I can think of.
Now, I guess I'm the voice of the voiceless when it comes to yes, I know I stole that. I took that line from CM Punk.
Texas
When it
CM
comes
Punk.
when it comes to fans, I speak out for fans
Of the Lorax,
at times.
I speak for the
And
trees.
don't you start with that crap with the Lorax crap. I don't speak for the trees. Anyway,
Or Vietnamese.
something was brought to my attention earlier this morning that I completely forgot and didn't mention on the show because we didn't have time for it on our show. And, of course, it's dealing with Vince Russo. Vince Russo, the guy that Jim Cornette doesn't like, but
Oh, okay. I remember now.
this guy that, did
the grave thing and at the end of that one show.
Well,
That was
I
funny.
mean, you saw the whole thing about Bash at the Beach 2000, the whole thing with Hulk Hogan and Jeff Jarrett just laying down for Hogan and that whole thing. And then basically
Rock, paper,
Roddy Piper saying that,
There was this one thing where they did like rock, paper, scissors, and I don't know what promotion that was, but it was funny.
I can't remember.
They did rock, paper, scissors.
You're almost coming off the screen, by the way.
I'll just lean this way then. Why is
I don't know.
the lights on the green screen?
Well, now you got a glare. There. Better. See, I had it set up right.
I don't
Anyway,
think I moved it. Blame one of the cats.
here not too long ago, Vince Russo had released a list, and it's kind of like the Jeff Foxworthy, you might be a redneck kind of thing. But
Oh no.
he released a list of you are a mark, a wrestling mark, if, and then he has this list. I'm going to go through this list, and I'm probably going to have to tear Vince Russo a new one as well.
Oh, this is the soapbox thing.
This is the soapbox thing. You're a mark if you have convinced yourself that professional wrestling is real. I mean,
There's more to it than that.
if you're a little kid and you think it's real, let them have that illusion. If it's a little kid and they think it's real, let them have that illusion. Let them grow up to know the opposite. Okay? That's what happened with me. I grew up, as a little kid, I thought everything was real. Like with, when Undertaker faced Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker put Ultimate Warrior in a coffin and sealed it up to where, you know, he couldn't get out. And as a little kid, I was freaking out like, oh my God, Undertaker just put him in the coffin and he can't breathe. And they're like, went to commercial break and they come back and they're over here struggling, trying to get the coffin open and everything. And as a little kid, I was sold on the fact, you know.
Yeah.
As a little kid, I grew up thinking wrestling was real. And then I progressed and got older and more mature and more smarter in realizing, okay? So to say that, that's kind of a dumb thing. So you're saying children are marks. That's stupid.
I feel it's too vague.
Part of wrestling is real because...
That's why I feel it's stupid.
Yeah, they do. I mean, take Zoe Stark, for example, last night. She got hurt. The stuff that happens in the ring is real. The slams is real.
To say that if you think wrestling isn't scripted, that would be more accurate, but I don't know. You're still kind of pointing a finger there.
Reality shows are fake, too. So if you think reality shows are real, professional wrestling, if you are a mark, if professional wrestling is the most important thing in your life, well, it kind of is, Russo, because we're having to make a podcast about it. We're trying to make money with this podcast as well.
Generally, if you do something for a living, it's the most important thing in your life. For most people, I would think. So does that make him?
No. No. He's saying you have an everyday, normal 9-to-5 job, but the most important thing is wrestling. And, you know, you disregard your family, your life, everything like that. That's what he's saying. That part I can understand. But when you have a wrestling podcast and you're learning about wrestling to have the knowledge to talk about professional wrestling on a podcast, so you watch wrestling, you watch people talk about wrestling, you listen to people talk about wrestling so you can learn up everything that there is you need to know about professional wrestling. You know, I mean, come on, dude. You are a mark if you own a lot of black shirts with pit stains.
That one's just weird.
That one makes no sense. And I kind of figured out what his fetish is. You're a mark if you don't just want to go to a wrestling show, but you want to be a part of it. I never want to be a part of a wrestling show. And the ones that want to be a part of a wrestling show are kids. They want to be a part of it because they think it's cool. It's like you watch, what happens if you worked for wrestling? Are you See? Same thing. Brandon hit it on the head there. Same thing that Chris was saying. So, like, going back to this, if you're a kid and you see it, like, you read a comic book or you see the Marvel movies, you want to be Iron Man, you want to be Captain America, you want to be one of those heroes. You want to be a part of it. And then you go to Disneyland where they actually have a theme of Marvel, and you want to be a part of it. So what? Wrestlers involve fans in the shows every now and then. You go and look at videos.
Yeah, by his standards, yeah, that it really is starting to sound like if you again, it's the most important thing. How are you gonna put food on the table? Because I mean,
But he's saying as a
I wanna be
fan.
a part of it.
He's saying as a fan though.
I don't know, kind of sounds like he's a mark
So
to me.
this is kind of like a not a
What
really
is he,
good
What does he do in professional wrestling nowadays?
nothing.
He's a fan.
It's nothing now.
He's a mark himself.
He has a podcast now, but he talks about wrestling. Doofus. You are a mark if you
That is
sing
an
along.
insult
Hey,
I have not heard in a long time.
you're a mark if you sing along with wrestlers' theme songs at the top of your lungs. If you're at the wrestling show and you're singing theme song, Seth Rollins' theme song, sing, for crying out loud. You're enjoying the show, so you're a part of the show. If you're watching a movie at home or a show and the theme song comes on, you sing along to it.
You're probably fine, Brandon. This guy's talking about it now, so.
Yeah. Like, people will sing the theme song to Malcolm in the Middle or the Friends theme song. It's because they're a fan. So sorry if,
That sometimes is just fun.
and it's catchy.
What about over here chanting along with stuff? Does that count too?
I
Like
know,
the
right?
event we went to with the what thing that we were doing, that was a highlight right there.
You're a mark if Dave Meltzer is your god. I don't think anyone thinks that.
I don't think anyone
I
actually.
really don't think that anyone thinks that way. You're a mark if quote unquote work rate in fake wrestling matches is important to you.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
I guess how they work in a match.
What's a work rate?
Like how they work in the match. Like in this triple threat match tonight, how those guys really put out their effort in the match.
Yeah.
Vince is a big mark because he was a fan before he got a job in. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, he worked in WWE as a writer first, and then went to WCW, and then was on camera talent. But work rate, that's how well you put together a match, and how you want to make it, how you make it believable for the fans
Also,
and everything.
what is a mark? Like, is that a bad thing? Or
They make it seem like it's a bad thing, but you know what? You call me a mark, call me a mark. I don't care. It's better than you calling me a Paul Logan fan. Or a Logan Paul fan, whatever the hell his name is. Moving on. You're a mark if you hate any form of entertainment in your wrestling. I like all kinds.
Isn't wrestling entertainment?
In a sense, it is. See, his list ain't making any sense.
There was this, like, me and my member coming across a while back where it was this stupid list, just a joke list, where the point of the list was to be contradictory. That's
Which
what
sounds like this list.
yeah. Like, it's even cropped poorly.
Yeah.
So,
You're a mark if you, and I can't say this, but you come to the end of something over Japanese wrestling. I'll let you all fill in the blanks on that one. I'm not going to explain it.
Why is it got to be Japanese
Basi-
wrestling?
Well, apparently, I don't know. Wrestling's wrestling to me. Japanese, lucha libre, it's wrestling. It's entertaining. Okay? They tell a story, both outside and inside the ring. They have to tell you the story outside of the ring to complete the story that's inside the ring.
Yeah.
You are a mark if you're opposed to seeing attractive women in wrestling. I'm not opposed, but there is a certain limit. Watching wrestling is a soap opera, so guys and kids, and for guys, kids, and family. The whole the whole Attitude Era, and in the
There's a
early
difference between attractive and
over sexualized,
yeah.
and that's where I draw the line. It's like, look,
I was just
they
kind of
they can be attractive, but they need to know how to wrestle in the ring really well. You know,
Yeah.
you can't just be a pretty face and then just. You got to full on hit the woman in the face like Rhea Ripley does. You know.
Yeah.
So, I think he wrote that because his wife was looking over his shoulder or something. If he is married, God forbid. You're a mark if you walk around the arena with a championship belt over your shoulder. Who's to say you may run into a wrestler and get an autograph and you have a belt that they can sign?
Also, some of this has really sounded like stuff just normal fans do.
It is. This is stuff that normal fans do. As long as they don't
Some of it. Anyway.
Well, as long as they don't go overboard with it and like stalk the wrestler, or they attack a heel because they think he's an actual bad guy, or throw something at him like that idiot did with that beer bottle to John Cena.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Okay? He's just telling a story. Go with it. Or in
It'd be like
or
getting
in,
mad at the movies, so
or
you throw
e-
the popcorn at the screen.
Yeah. Or even in Soraya's case, she was at a signing and a meet and greet, and a fan tried to kiss her. Was that?
Brandon said that he's seen all the time where people bring titles or just anything they can.
Yeah. Just so they can get it signed, so they can meet the wrestler that they cheer for and they are a fan of, and get a signature. But don't be like the guy that tried to kiss Soraya at a signing. That was freaking creepy. You're a mark if you rent space free of charge in your mom's basement. Has nothing to do with wrestling.
Same thing with the whole.
And then why would you rent space free? That's not
That goes against the
renting.
definition of renting.
that's a contradictory sentence in itself.
You can't rent.
I
for free.
digress. You're a mark if you're a part of a tribe that loves one wrestling brand and hates another wrestling brand. I don't hate wrestling brands.
I'm not a part of a tribe.
If it's
least I don't think
professional
I am.
wrestling, I'm going to watch it. And then as a fan, I'm going to say, well, I mean, I didn't really enjoy that match, not because the bad guy won. It's because both of them kept slipping in the ring. They kept messing up.
That and this list doesn't seem to be coming from a place of reason.
It's Vince Russo. Come on.
Yeah. To be fair.
You're a mark if you hate Vince Russo.
We're marks. Well.
You're a
joking.
mark if you're
Wait,
offended.
does that make Cornette?
Yeah. You're a mark if you're offended if anyone refers to you as a mark. I'm not offended by it. They can say whatever they want.
And I just barely learned what a mark was. So
I frankly don't care.
you could be like, my name's not Mark, and then tell them your first name, and then just the funniest thing ever.
You're a mark if you honestly believe Triple H or Tony Khan are true bookers of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Really nice guy, Vince Russo.
He is really a nice guy. So, Brandon, have you met Vince Russo?
I think he's
Because this
joking.
guy sounds like he's got something against actual wrestling fans. He's got something out for them. You're a mark if you cried when Cody Rhodes finished his story and beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Everybody did, because this was like a story that was a year in the making. A year, 2 years in the making. I have talked to him on his podcast before. Oh,
Is there a reason you think he's coming off as overly aggressive in the notes here?
against wrestling fans, basically.
Yeah. And the thing is,
I mean,
just-
if I'll be a mark. Sure, fine. Label me a mark. I don't care as long as I'm still considered a wrestling fan, because that's all I grew up with.
there's a
and-
difference between you enjoy something or you're a fan of something and then you're just obsessed with it.
Yeah, I don't build a shrine.
Oh, so he's playing a character.
It's an act to get money on his podcast. Okay, well, I can reassure you folks, we don't act on our podcast to get money or anything. This is not these are not characters. This is not a gimmick. This is us in real life. We're real fans, and we're just expressing our thoughts and opinions on this. We are not going to give you a caricature or a different version of ourselves just to sell the podcast. So, I'm just wanting to put that out there. You know, this
Unless we're obviously screwing around.
yeah, but that means that's us. We like to have fun and everything like that.
Like me messing with him.
Yeah, yeah, and he'll do that even on or off the air, on or off the podcast. He'll do that when we're watching wrestling, and anytime they mention a fatal 4-way or triple threat match, I feel him looking at me because he knows.
I'll just smile and slowly turn.
Yes, you do exactly that every time.
And he can see it out of the corner of his
Drama
eye.
makes money for podcasts. That's
does.
true, but you're not going to get drama from us. You're just going to get how we really feel as human beings and as wrestling fans. Where was I? Yeah, and when Cody won, I cried. When Cody lost at WrestleMania 39, I was mad. I was like, really? They really drove this story up that Cody could be the actual person to dethrone Roman, and then he loses. But then WrestleMania 40 came around, and it's like you wanted to be in Cody's corner at ringside. Like, if someone even tries to get up on the apron, I swear to God, it was that kind of... Well, I guess that goes back to wanting to be a part of the show.
Then I feel like all of us have wanted to be a part of the show at some point.
At some point, yeah.
Even us, we wanted to be like in the stand or whatever or something, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, that still may happen.
I guess interviews count.
That
right?
still may happen.
Yeah.
We may get called to an independent show and be a manager for somebody. Who knows? And, we wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
I only
the
cried
deaths
when
are
Eddie...
sad.
Yeah, I cried too. And I even cried when Bray Wyatt passed away, because that was such a talented guy and a creative guy too. I mean, if you with the Fiend character
There was a
and
lot
everything,
he had left that
he had a
could've
lot
done.
of unfinished things to do. I mean, another title run and everything.
Well, not just that, but I have a feeling he really wanted to tell that story with the Fiend. You know?
He really did, and I mean that second version. When I play 2K and I have the Fiend in the universe, I have the new Fiend. I don't have the old Fiend, because it was something that Bray wanted, and I was very happy when 2K included that version in the game. I'm like, 10 points to 2K.
Yeah.
So yeah, I cried. Sue me, because I was happy. It was the ending of a story, and because I got invested in the story because they were good at telling stories.
And I feel like that's even more understandable because he knew the guy.
Yeah,
Like he literally.
I wish I knew him.
He literally knew
Believe
that
me,
guy.
there are a lot of wrestlers that I see on TV that I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be just a fan. I wouldn't mind being their friend because, they seem like a cool person to hang out with. Like Eddie Guerrero seemed like a really cool guy to hang out with. Same with CM Punk.
What
Just to
about
be...
Cross?
Huh?
What about Cross?
Cross? Yeah. Karrion Cross? Hell yeah. The guy has the same taste of music as we do.
Like what?
He's mentioned AC/DC. He's mentioned classics. He's mentioned current. You know.
Have to go further down that rabbit hole then.
Yes, we do. You're a mark if you make every excuse in the book when your brand's rating is down for the week. We don't make excuses. And I think this is something coming from his real life. When he was in WCW and the ratings were down.
That, and I don't know what the ratings are. I'm not even really sure how to check.
We don't really care.
Phil Brooks is not a nice guy.
Is not a nice guy? Well,
wait, is that CM Punk's real name or?
Yeah, Phil Brooks.
Just double checking. I don't have all of the names like memorized or anything.
Well, I mean, if he's not a nice guy, he's not a nice guy then. But I mean, I know for a fact he's got to be respecting the world of professional wrestling, unlike Logan Paul.
That wasn't me.
What was that? Where's that sound coming from?
Computer.
Let me see here. It's not coming from there. That's weird. Oh, I see. That was coming from the end credits of our last show last night. That really got us. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, sorry about that. That got me by surprise.
AEW, he was trying to be a boss, that's why.
Real thing in AEW? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm still going to be a CM Punk fan, regardless. But, you know, we like who we like, and I don't judge people that don't like. I don't judge people that don't like CM Punk. I don't judge people that. Is that mine?
Yeah.
Him and Jack Perry. Yeah, I don't like Jack Perry. Because, I mean, the stuff he pulled, and then he's like, cry me a river, but then he's the crybaby himself.
Then I don't, not making excuses, but from what I know of that situation, it seems like AEW just doesn't have a clear boss.
Even though they say it's Tony Khan or Young Bucks or Kenny Omega or any one of those people.
But you can tell it's the wrestlers just kind of arguing with one another until eventually they agree on something.
Yeah.
And even then, you know.
Yeah. But, I mean, Brandon has got the insights there.
Grim, welcome.
We got Handsome Grim. Okay. I mean, and then, Brandon, you said you used to work in WWE. What years did you work? That way I can get a good time frame, because he did say he knew Eddie Guerrero, so I can know it's like probably towards the end of his life, 2004, 2005. Look, I love wrestling, but AEW needs to have a better booker. Tony must step down and find someone else better than him. 2004 to 2007, okay. Worked for them for 3 years. And then...
When was Punk in there?
Punk came around 2006? 2006, 2000... About around that same time. 2006, I think. I gotta look again. This is kind of like a texting interview in a way. Brandon, what did you used to do for WWE? Did you drive trucks, set up the ring? I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing here. Because we have a guy that follows us on TikTok that used to drive trucks, or drives trucks for WWE. Okay, take it with a grain of salt. No, I know.
Brandon B from WWE.
Video tech. Oh, that's right. Video tech. Okay.
Yeah.
He was a video technician. For, I guess, like, I'm guessing cameras or maybe the Titantrons.
No, the truck guy was someone else. Forget his name.
Yeah. Okay, about CM Punk. He's like that because he had a bad childhood. Yeet. LOL. No, I think he was. Well, I don't know. Which was he saying? That it was camera crew or
I don't know.
the production part of the production truck, or because video tech can mean a lot of things.
He was all of them
Yeah.
simultaneously.
His family. Yeah, that is the thing about CM Punk. His dad was an alcoholic. That's why Punk chose not to be. Why he chose to actually be straight edge, or so he says. And WWE is now happy with Punk for his maturity. Yeah. I mean, he had some growing up to do, and he did. It's just some people just still see him for being immature.
WWE Movie Maker, welcome.
Movie Maker's here. Punk was raised by another family. He was raised by another family because he chose to. It was video people with the Tron and lighting. God, man, that would have been a cool job to have. He worked the lights in the Titantron.
Cool.
And that was, 2004 to 2007. He had the... Oh, they had the... He worked during that era where it was my favorite era of Ruthless Aggression, where they had the awesome Raw and SmackDown interests. The Fist. The SmackDown Fist. That's awesome.
Is that when that was?
Yeah, during that time. Summary of the story: people change either for better or for worse. It's up to them on which path they take. Punk's brother, Punk, Movie Maker and Handsome Grim and Brandon B dropping knowledge here on our YouTube chat. Punk's brother stole money from him one time. On his documentary, because Punk and his friends had made their own wrestling promotion, and they put his brother in charge of the money, and his brother ended up stealing the money. Dad was an alcoholic. His sister had a mental disability, that kind of thing.
Cool.
And then Handsome Grim asking about John Cena. Well, yeah, in real life, John Cena is a great guy. And him as a heel, I like it. I do. I really do. Because in real life, he loves the fans. In real life. Now they're just going to bombard Brandon with questions. Brandon, I'm so sorry that we got everybody on you asking questions and everything. Yeah, but he...
JBL don't like people.
Yeah, I can believe that. That I can believe, because he is... Yeah.
He is what?
The only time John Cena is not a great guy is when you shove a camera in his face and say, "But I'm famous." Yeah, and I don't like when fans do that. Me, if I see like a wrestler and he's with his family, he's not in a wrestling setting like a convention.
You don't harass people like that.
Yeah, you don't. If anything,
bombard them.
If anything, you just
stuff.
wave and say, "Hey." You say their name and say, "Hey, love what you do," and then move on. You don't go, "Hey, can I get a photo? Hey, can I get an autograph?"
Outside of the arena, you just kind of leave them be.
Yeah, outside of the arena, if they're shopping, God's sakes, let them shop. How would you feel if someone came up and bugged you while you're shopping? Like asking if you want to change to Spectrum or all that crap, while you're shopping at Walmart, getting dog food. It irritates me, I'm sorry.
That one I feel like was from experience.
It was. You're asking me about all this stuff, I'm like, and it's like, no, go away. Leave me alone. I want to shop and go home. I want to get the stuff I need and go home.
That one's
But yeah,
definitely from
and
experience.
if anyone that is listening and they do come across a wrestler that's outside of wrestling, they're not in the arena, they're not at a convention signing or anything, leave them be. Just leave them be.
Just quick PSA, I guess.
It's a quick PSA. They're people too, and they just want to get on with their life. I mean, don't go up to them and just bombard them with wanting to get a photo or an autograph or anything like that. Just be nice, be polite, and just say, hey, like what you do, keep it up. And just move on with everything. And that way you can say, I had a chance to just wave and say hi to so-and-so. Well, there's no photo because I'm a respectable person. I don't want to ask for a photo. Now, if you're at a wrestling event or at a signing,
That's different.
that's different. Be like, hey, can I get a photo with you real quick or a video of you or something, just a request of something, can you say to my brother, something, their catchphrase or whatever. The wrestlers don't like to have a camera in their face or an autograph. And that's understandable when they're outside in the world. If they're at a convention and they're there signing and doing photo ops, then by all means do so. And then get a few words in like, hey, I love your stuff, stuff like that. Or if they're having a Q&A session, do that.
Who?
Mr. Kennedy.
The president?
Kennedy! No. There was a guy that was named Mr. Kennedy in WWE, and then he went to TNA and he used his name Anderson, and it was the same gimmick. He would have this boxing microphone come down, and he would go, Mr. Kennedy! And then he'd wait. Kennedy! That, Eddie Guerrero wrestled him for his last match, Eddie's match, before he passed away. Punk, no, that's guy before. How was he backstage in your own point of view? I would have to say, 2006 was probably when Lashley. Huh. Yeah, that happened. That actually happened during that time frame. The whole Chris Benoit thing. That one. Wow.
From what I heard, like the documentary you had us me watch.
The Dark Side of the Ring one?
Yeah. He was normal up until like he snapped or something.
A lot of people are blaming it on CTE.
Yeah.
Lashley versus Lesnar feud. It was all right.
And neither of them are with WWE.
Yeah.
One
Well,
of them because of legal. the
Actually, if you go to the WWE roster page, Brock Lesnar is on there. So is Alberto Del Rio.
other. Oh.
You got a few. You got a few.
Is it
triple-
official by the company or?
I guess so. When they put it, well, no. Actually, I stand corrected. It's not on their website. It's off of not Cage Match, but SmackDown Hotel. They
The same one that you tried saying that was evidence for Americano being
okay.
Chad
We're gonna
Gable.
okay.
Not Gable.
Go to SmackDown Hotel and look up WWE's roster, and look up Chad Gable. They have a split
not
two-face
official.
thing of him.
It's not
one
official.
One half of him is Chad Gable. The other half is El Grande Americano. They're one and the same.
They're not. It's not official
Don't
website.
make me cry.
It's not. It's not run by WWE. I mean, he might.
Del Rio might come back at the AAA event. God, I hope not.
Still not run by WWE. Just
Yeah. You were shocked about that. He was not that kind of guy in person. That's what a lot of people have said, and that's why a lot of people were leading to the fact that it was CTE. It was a concussion that,
brain damage sort of thing.
yeah, and that what led to that event. I mean, Paul Heyman thinks it otherwise, saying, in that Inside the Ropes Q&A or interview he had, saying, 3 people died that night. 2 people had no choice in the matter. Only one person did. And then saying that Benoit, outside the ring, screw him, but inside the ring, great to work with and everything.
the main thing I would work off of with that sort of thing
My microphone
would be
keeps-
like if he had a history of doing stuff like that to people, you know?
No, Benoit, he protected the business, from what I remember hearing a lot about. Vince McMahon documentary, Steve Austin said, I'm not a CTE guy, meaning he
I don't
doesn't
think they
believe in
would
it.
let his son wrestle either. Just because of
No.
the name connection.
Yeah, and that's why you don't see his son at any events because of that. And I remember in that Dark Side of the Ring episode, when they were talking to him, it seemed like he still had an interest in wanting to wrestle in professional wrestling, and he got interviewed by Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho asked him, "Would you be using, your actual name, your dad's name?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'd be using my dad's last name because I do that out of respect and to honor him, that kind of thing." Doesn't mean that whatever happened that night, because it's one of those things. We weren't there. We didn't know the full story of what happened that night. It's like the whole thing with George Reeves. He used to play Superman. A lot of people thought he was killed by. A lot of people were convinced that he had killed himself because he was irrelevant in Hollywood. So people thought, oh, he went off and killed himself. But then people were like, he may have had a jealous husband, put a hit out on him, something like that, blah, blah, blah. We don't know because we weren't there.
Another thing is, like, you ever hear about, like, lobotomies and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Brains are kind of sensitive.
They actually, I think they studied Benoit's brain. And it was,
Bad.
no, you remember, well, I can't remember the results of it, but
Not good.
the guy that was leading the whole entire investigation thing about CTE in professional wrestling and in sports, you remember watching the very first Tough Enough, the guy that was from Harvard and everything like that? You don't remember?
Like the first episode?
No, like the first season. That had Al Snow and...
I think we watched the first few episodes.
But it was the guy that was like from Harvard.
Barely.
Okay. People think Kevin Sullivan did something. Yeah, that's the other thing. Kevin Sullivan who was the former ex-husband, was an ex-husband of Chris Benoit's wife, and she left Kevin Sullivan to be with Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird to have those names in that sentence, though, Brandon, because I'm Kevin and he's Chris.
Oh no.
I'm just saying, and I know what you mean, and I know what you're saying, Brandon. Don't worry. It's just weird reading that, and then I know in context of what you're referring to, but then realizing that him and I have the same names as the two people that you're mentioning.
Hey, it's Kevin. that would be a different cross promo show entirely.
They were married, and she cheated on with him.
That would be an entirely different cross promo show.
That would, wow. No, but you look into it, and it's making me want to watch Dark Side of the Ring again, But yeah, it's still a tragic thing regardless, and I noticed, and I looked it up on the alumni page on WWE, they don't have any
They completely
mention.
scrubbed most records of him.
They pretty much almost they almost erased him from WWE history books, but you could still see his matches on Peacock.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really erase him from wrestling history, period. No matter what promotion he was with. WCW, WWE, New Japan, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's a different subject for a different day.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm not surprised. I really would not be surprised.
Chris was a good person to talk with backstage. I bet, man. I bet. I mean, Sorry, guys. I guess I'm not so responsible then because I'm gonna want to take a picture. Sorry, but not
that's
sorry. Well, I mean, you're gonna have to deal with them snapping at you.
That's all right.
'Cause the Ring Boys. Yeah, there's a lot still going on with that.
Frankly, you could say McMahon did anything in
Again,
that area, and I would believe you.
again, different subject for a different day. I mean, that's a rabbit hole that's like way past Neverland or Wonderland or whatever.
Yeah.
You thought I was gonna.
Yeah.
Also the Grand case. Yeah, it's still ongoing too. The whole court cases that he's involved
Vince
with.
and rabbit hole should not be in the same sentence.
I know. I realize that now.
Just
Anyway, yeah, Pat Patterson. Yeah. All right, guys. So we're probably gonna go ahead and call it a night. It's already been wow.
a golden shovel. They make those.
Also, some wrestlers said that Triple H had a golden. That's. I think he's trying to keep that PG, not for you to repeat that.
Oh.
And to his
Okay, never
contract,
mind.
so that must not look weak. Huh. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and skedaddle on out of here.
Skedaddle.
We got Dynamite tomorrow, and then
We're gonna just get. Hey, maybe that would. Maybe it won't have any technical difficulties.
still though,
Maybe.
hopefully that won't. But
Can you imagine how bad this week would be for AEW if they have even more technical difficulties on top of their pay-per-view being just not
oh my
available
god,
in
that
North
would be
America?
horrible. You would have a lot of people upset. Not the people that are in the arena because they'll see everything, but people at home. Anyway, so we got Dynamite tomorrow, and then the day after we've got TNA and Collision.
Where's the pay-per-view being held?
I'd have to look that up. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. No, actually, I take that back. I think it's in Arizona, somewhere in Arizona.
That's even weirder. It's gonna be in America, but none of the stuff is gonna be available for broadcast in America.
Oh, you mean the pay-per-view? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. That's try to wrap your mind around that.
Sure.
Oh yeah. You'll probably have to catch us on there. Probably, I want to say probably tomorrow because I'm beat. I had a long day today. I was up at the crack of dawn, feeding the cows and the chicken. No, I wasn't. But anyway, we will definitely catch you guys tomorrow. We will be here after Dynamite to talk about the results of Dynamite, their go-home show for Double or Nothing. I almost forgot the name of the pay-per-view. That's because I'm tired.
AEW pay-per-view number 3.
Number 3. I'm leaving tomorrow to go on a trip. Okay.
Alright.
Well, then we'll talk more when we get back.
Or
You're on
when
our
he gets
Discord
back.
now. Oh, I almost forgot before we leave. Oh my gosh, you should have reminded me this.
Oh, did you fix the YouTube Discord?
I did. On our YouTube,
If you're on the YouTube page,
thanks to Brandon's help, we have
We
corrected the whole thing with the Discord.
yeah, we
So-
realized that it was the wrong kind of link, so we
Yeah.
got it working now.
So if you're on YouTube and you're watching us on YouTube, and of course I'm talking to Handsome Grim and WWE Movie Maker, if you guys haven't joined our Discord, we do have a link in the description in the video below. Also our social media sites, which are represented here on screen.
There's like pictures and stuff, and shapes.
I worry about you sometimes because you will point out the obvious. But yes, we have social media sites here. Please join them. We'd like to get feedback from you guys. Also, we are still making a list. We'll make Jericho proud by making a list of matches you guys want us to see and have us review, because we'll be doing that soon as we get enough matches. Probably not this week, because we're going to be busy watching a lot of wrestling this week, including some pay-per-views.
Well, I think we got enough matches. It's just a matter of time.
That is true, but still, it wouldn't hurt to get a whole list of them.
Because we got pretty much the next week, no breaks until like next Sunday.
Hey, but I'm enjoying doing it because it's wrestling, and I get to spend time with you, silly. All right, guys, can I see you tomorrow? All right, that Chris, not
it's gonna
this
be
Chris.
nothing but multi-man matches
Yeah,
for the next week and a half.
God. So that Discord link is right also here if you want to type it in. If you can't scroll down or
Make it work, I guess.
or make it work, but it should work because I put in exactly that very same one in our description in YouTube. But if you're on Twitch, on Kick, it is right here. You just type that in, make a whole new window, and just type that in. Also,
You might have to try it once or twice, because I was like copying it to. I had to copy off of that to resend you the link. Because I didn't feel like scrolling all the way up. So.
I got you.
Yeah.
But then also make a whole other window and get your money ready, because we have a merch store, online merch store here. Crosspromopod shop.fourthwall.com.
That looks like a store link,
Yes.
not a store.
Give me a sec here, and I'll show you the.
Does not look like a store. That looks like a store link.
It's the store link, yes, but give me a second here. I'm kind of moving some windows around.
It's funny because we're using the Windows.
You just don't stop, do you? Anyway,
I can stop whatever I want.
you just choose not to. Where is it? There we go.
But I can choose?
You never do. But if you do type this into your search or whatever, it'll take you to this.
We disappeared, man. Okay, I'm done.
Calm down, man.
Now I'm really messing with him.
Yeah.
Why'd you leave? He's asking if we wanted to know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, you just scroll down here. We got some T-shirts. We got 2 different types. I think we'll put our old logo on there, too. We got some mouse pads if you want some mouse pads, some stickers,
Actually,
sweatshirts.
I got an idea for that with the old one.
Hats, and then we got mugs, beanies, hoodies, more hats. We got a trucker cap.
What's the difference between a trucker cap and a normal one?
Well, look, you can see it right there. See? It's mesh, not mesh.
Is the mesh better?
Allows your head to breathe.
I'm going to have to get a trucker hat then. For like summers.
He got more money and less hours to work with brands. All right. But, yep, that is our store there. Let me switch back to us here, and we're back. All right. So, yeah, definitely check out that store. We'd appreciate you guys if you visit it, and then, of course, chat with us on social media sites and everything.
Van Halen and Motley Crue. Wait, we know those guys. We listened to those bands.
Yes, we do. Because I introduced you to those bands as far as listening to them.
Yeah.
Those are great bands. Because I grew up listening to them.
Yeah.
Because of MTV.
You did? Like, from
Yeah.
MTV?
Yeah.
Huh.
When they actually had music videos on there.
They probably should have stuck to that.
They never did. Great people to work for. Well, yeah, I've heard, especially Motley Crue, because I saw the movie Dirty. What was it?
Didn't see the movie.
God, what was the name of the biopic? I just completely forgot about it, but I saw
Motley
the biopic.
Crue, the biopic.
But it was a good one. Anyway, all right, guys. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head on out of here. We want you guys to stay safe, have fun, and we will definitely see you guys here. We'll see you guys here tomorrow night, and we'll talk about Dynamite and more things about professional wrestling. Until then.
Oh, and Brandon, enjoy your trip.
Oh yes, be safe on your trip tomorrow, ma'am. Tommy Lee is. I see. That's another celebrity I would want to meet. And that's Tommy Lee. Because I've seen his videos, and the guy's got a great sense of humor. All right. So for the Cross Promo Show, I'm Kevin,
I'm Chris.
and
We gone.
gone. You know who else I wouldn't mind meeting though?
Who?
Ozzy Osbourne.
How would you be able to understand him?
Yes, I probably would, but I would love to meet him. Sharon.